Hello everyone, Kaz here with a tutorial for Wii Frisbee Golf. Now I'm going to play this fast forward so you can get 18 holes within these 10 minutes or less of the video. So here we go. Now I want you to think about the release of the Frisbee as a horizontal release, much like you'd be casting a fishing rod or hitting a tennis ball. And the first hole is right down the middle. And so you just aim for the middle of the column and do your best. There's an eagle, and it's nice to get an eagle or a birdie on the first hole. Second hole is a par 3, and once again look at the wind, and this is going a little bit to the right, so I aim just a little bit to the left of the column, and there you go, hole in one. Now the third hole is a longer hole, and wind plays a big part in this. In this particular instance, you're going to see I'm going to use the big Frisbee, and the wind is about 16-18 miles an hour at my back, so I just threw it way out there and try to get between that tree and the sand trap if you can. And sometimes you aim between those trees, and other times you aim just to the left of the trees, just to get out there so you have a decent third shot. Now I have the wind at my back, so it gives me a good opportunity for an eagle, but I think I'm going to go with a middle mallet and see where that takes me. Change my mind and go to the bigger mallet, and I threw it a little off to the side, and hopefully it doesn't go out about ooh but I still have a medium Frisbee back, and I move my guy so I have the best opportunity for success. Go for the middle of the column wherever possible. Now this next hole is a short par 3, and steer a little bit clear of the water. You'll see that the wind is blowing a little bit left to right, and a 10-mile-an-hour wind. Aim just a little bit to the left of the column, and it should bring you into the hole. As I say, your stroke wants to be like a tennis stroke, forehand or backhand. Your release is the same place that you would hit a tennis ball, the contact of the tennis ball. Now on this hole, go for the middle as much as you can, and generally speaking, if the wind is against me, I just try to get close to the cliff, and I'm a little bit far away, but I'll try from here to get over in 3, and if the wind isn't your back, with a decent speed you can get over there on 2 and have a real good chance for an eagle. From here, just kind of lag it up there so you have a decent opportunity to go for a birdie. Here, I kind of threw it a little bit short, and so I'm going to have to live with a par. By the way, for your information, it's nice to get your Wii character as tall as possible so that doesn't happen. Now the next hole is a nice hole with trees guarding the column. So I just try to lag it up there and then just go a little bit to the left of the trees that are guarding the column, and hopefully that will put you in a position to make a nice little birdie. By the way, that little tree on the left there that you see that blue line go through, that tree is mostly out of the equation. And there's your birdie. I try to use the bigger mallet wherever possible, and then go with a smaller mallet if there's a danger of going out of bounds. Here I am going to play the wind. The wind moves me just a little bit to the left, so I play between the trees. And sometimes the trees that are guarding the column over there are good as kind of stop guards so that sometimes you can actually hit the tree and be in better position than going over. The other thing you can do is you can aim on your second throw and actually skip on the water and get on the green. Here we go with another birdie. Now this next hole is, you're up at a higher elevation. You have to be careful not to throw it over. This has a wind to my back, so I throw gently and aim right for the center of the column. In this particular instant, I was able to get it into a hole in one. Other times you're going to have to land in the water and come back and hopefully get a par. Here's the 9th hole. Now, if the wind's at your back, you're in a decent position. If the wind's in your face, you might have to settle with a birdie or a par. Here, I hit the tree on my second shot, and it's a long ways to the green, but because it slopes down, I give it a try. You're going to see here that I don't quite get it far enough that I hit the edge. If I'd have gone a little shorter, it would have probably skipped onto the green. Here, I'm going to have to settle for a bogey. Oh, sad. But sometimes you have to live with that and go on from there. Now I'm 10 under after 9 holes, which is pretty good. On this hole, which is the hole number 10, I throw it out there. Just being a little bit to the right of the furthest sand trap in the middle there is fine. And aim for the middle. I pulled it a little bit. It's okay sometimes if you pull it a little, if you're not going to be making the distance of the green anyway. And I use a smaller Wii Frisbee and go for my birdie. Now this next hole has a little water on the right hand side, and always pay attention to the wind. The wind is going to affect things just a little bit. In this particular wind to the right, it caused me to throw a little bit to the right, and here we go with a birdie. Now this next hole is a long hole. I like it because it lets you really air it out. I kind of threw it, I tried it, there's 2 trees over there kind of in the middle. You can throw it so you can land in between them and go through the trees without much negative, or you can go, as I did, around here. And my third throw, I try to steer clear of the left-hand side, so I bring my little Wii character, my Robocop, a little to the right, so I steer clear of the out of bounds on the left. I've been caught by that before. And there you go for another birdie. On the next hole, I'm 13 under, and so that's puts me in a pretty good position. With the wind at your face like this, you can throw away and go right for the hole, as I did. If the wind is at your back, a heavy wind, you have to throw very gingerly, or maybe use the smaller mallet if it's like 18 or 20 miles an hour at your back. Here we go on this hole, a nice wind at my back. I try to throw it a little over to the left so that I have an opening to go straight to the green. And this is, you want to steer clear of the trees on the right. You can get as close to them as you can, but you don't want to clip them because it slows down your distance. And so this next throw, actually landing in the sand trap. Sand traps aren't that big a deal here, except for if you get in high enough and there's a lip there that you hit, the lip of the sand trap. Try to throw over the lip and you'll be okay. Here I missed my eagle opportunity, land a little bit to the left, take a smaller mallet, and throw it in for my birdie. Release is everything on Frisbee golf. You have to release it well, and once you release it well, then you can become what we call consistent, and that's a good thing. On this particular hole, you have to be very careful not to get into that water there because it's not forgiving. I always try to either land on and cozy it up to one side or the other without going into the water. This next hole is a long hole. And if you got the wind at your back, this is good. This is the one where you play a little dangerously, try to go through the out-of-bounds area to get to the column. In this particular throw, I don't have a shot direct to the column, so I just try to throw around it. Threw it a little hard. It came close to the out-of-bounds. But this hole is definitely at least a birdie hole. And if the angle is right on the first throw, you can get an eagle. This is the toughest hole, hole 17 on the golf course, because of this little narrow walkway there, and oftentimes you will go ooh and almost make it and go off to the side. In those particular instances, you kind of want to just make sure you don't go over the other side and get a water ball and keep losing strokes. So sometimes I play it chicken and I go with a smaller Wii Frisbee, and it doesn't quite make it, so I have to live with a bogey. Sometimes you can get a birdie on this hole, and sometimes a par. I've never been able to get a hole-in-one in this par 3. Here we go, the 18th hole, and just throw like crazy for the middle of that island. If the wind's at your back, you have a better chance. Here I landed a little short, and it's a long way to the second green, but I threw it right into the middle, and with a little bit of a wind help, ooh, I make it. But it gives me a long next throw. Now on this throw, I aim a little bit to the left and let the 10-mile-an-hour crosswind help, but I didn't quite throw it close enough to the column, so I got it up there close so that I can get a nice little short birdie, which gives me 18 under par. It just gives you an overview of what you can do. I hope this is helpful to you. My lowest score is with my other character, Shinono, as you saw there, 24 under. Hope you enjoyed this.